Hey everyone! Welcome back to Z-Tech Advisor channel. Today, we're delving into Module 7, Vulnerability Reporting and Communication. Module 7, Vulnerability Reporting and Communication. Creating effective vulnerability reports, executive summaries, technical details, recommended actions, etc. Communicating risks to stakeholders, IT teams, executives, board members, etc. Tailoring communication to different audiences, technical versus non-technical strategies for fostering collaboration between security and IT teams, establishing a vulnerability management program within the organization. Examples of successful vulnerability communication strategies, addressing resistance to vulnerability remediation efforts, tools and templates for vulnerability reporting and communication. Creating effective vulnerability reports, executive summaries, technical details, recommended actions, etc. Effective vulnerability reports are comprehensive documents that provide a holistic view of identified vulnerabilities, their potential impact, and recommended actions for remediation. Executive summaries offer a high-level overview of the findings, highlighting key vulnerabilities and their implications for the organization's security posture. Technical details delve into the specifics of each vulnerability, including its severity, affected systems, and potential exploitability. Recommended actions outline steps for remediation, including patching, configuration changes, or the implementation of compensating controls. By presenting information in a clear and structured format, vulnerability reports empower stakeholders to make informed decisions and prioritize remediation efforts effectively. Communicating risks to stakeholders, IT teams, executives, board members, etc. Communicating risks to stakeholders involves conveying the potential impact of identified vulnerabilities on the organization's security, operations, and reputation. Tailoring the message to the audience's level of technical expertise and understanding is crucial for effective communication. For IT teams, providing detailed technical information about vulnerabilities, their root causes, and recommended mitigation strategies facilitates collaboration and informed decision-making. Executives and board members benefit from concise summaries that highlight the business implications of security risks, such as financial losses, regulatory penalties, and damage to brand reputation. By engaging stakeholders in risk discussions and emphasizing the importance of vulnerability management, organizations foster a culture of security awareness and accountability. Tailoring communication to different audiences, technical versus non-technical. Tailoring communication to different audiences involves adapting the message to suit the level of technical expertise and understanding of stakeholders. Technical audiences, such as IT teams and security professionals, require detailed information about vulnerabilities, including technical details, attack vectors, and remediation procedures. Non-technical audiences, such as executives and board members, benefit from simplified explanations that focus on the business impact of security risks and the importance of prioritizing remediation efforts. Using visual aids, such as charts, graphs, and diagrams, can help convey complex technical concepts to non-technical audiences effectively. By tailoring communication to the audience's needs and preferences, organizations ensure that stakeholders are engaged and empowered to address security vulnerabilities proactively. Strategies for fostering collaboration between security and IT teams. Fostering collaboration between security and IT teams is essential for effective vulnerability management and remediation. Establishing clear lines of communication and accountability encourages mutual understanding and cooperation between teams. Regular meetings, such as cross-functional workshops and joint training sessions, provide opportunities for knowledge sharing and collaboration on vulnerability identification and remediation efforts. Implementing shared tools and platforms, such as ticketing systems and collaboration software, facilitates communication and coordination between security and IT teams. By promoting a culture of collaboration and teamwork, organizations maximize the effectiveness of their vulnerability management programs and enhance their overall security posture. Establishing a vulnerability management program within the organization. Establishing a vulnerability management program involves defining policies, procedures, and processes for identifying, assessing, prioritizing, and remediating security vulnerabilities. Key components of a vulnerability management program include asset inventory and classification, vulnerability scanning and assessment, risk prioritization, remediation planning and execution, and continuous monitoring and improvement. Aligning the vulnerability management program with industry standards and best practices, such as the ISO 27001 framework or the NIST cybersecurity framework, helps ensure consistency and compliance with regulatory requirements. By formalizing the vulnerability management process, organizations demonstrate their commitment to proactive risk management and cybersecurity excellence. Examples of successful vulnerability communication strategies. Successful vulnerability communication strategies leverage clear and concise messaging tailored to the needs and preferences of stakeholders. For technical audiences, detailed vulnerability reports with comprehensive technical information and recommended actions facilitate informed decision-making and collaboration. Executive summaries and business impact assessments help non-technical audiences understand the significance of security risks and prioritize remediation efforts accordingly. Regular communication channels, such as stakeholder meetings, security briefings, and status updates, provide opportunities for ongoing dialogue and feedback. By sharing success stories, lessons learned, and best practices, organizations inspire confidence and engagement among stakeholders, driving collective efforts to address security vulnerabilities effectively. Addressing resistance to vulnerability remediation efforts. Addressing resistance to vulnerability remediation efforts involves understanding the underlying reasons for resistance and addressing them through targeted strategies and interventions. Common reasons for resistance may include resource constraints, competing priorities, and organizational culture or politics. Engaging stakeholders in open and transparent communication about the importance of vulnerability management and its impact on organizational security helps build buy-in and support for remediation efforts. Providing resources, such as training, tools, and incentives, empowers teams to address security vulnerabilities effectively and overcome challenges. By fostering a culture of accountability, collaboration, and continuous improvement, organizations can overcome resistance to vulnerability remediation efforts and strengthen their security posture. Tools and templates for vulnerability reporting and communication. Tools and templates for vulnerability reporting and communication streamline the process of creating and disseminating vulnerability reports to stakeholders. Vulnerability management platforms offer built-in reporting capabilities, allowing organizations to generate customized reports with executive summaries, technical details, and recommended actions. Additionally, templates for vulnerability reports, communication plans, and stakeholder presentations provide a standardized framework for conveying information consistently and effectively. Using collaboration tools, such as shared document repositories and project management platforms, facilitates collaboration and feedback among stakeholders during the reporting and communication process. By leveraging these tools and templates, organizations enhance the efficiency and professionalism of their vulnerability reporting and communication efforts. Case Study 1. Global Tech Solutions, Inc. Background. Global Tech Solutions, Inc. GTS, a multinational technology company, faced challenges in effectively communicating and addressing security vulnerabilities across its diverse IT infrastructure. With a sprawling network of systems, applications, and endpoints, GTS struggled to prioritize remediation efforts and convey the urgency of security risks to stakeholders. Challenge: GTS encountered difficulties in creating vulnerability reports that effectively communicated the severity and impact of identified vulnerabilities to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. The lack of clear communication channels and standardized reporting templates hindered collaboration between security and IT teams. Additionally, resistance to vulnerability remediation efforts stemmed from competing priorities and resource constraints, leading to delays in addressing critical security risks. Solution: GTS implemented a comprehensive vulnerability reporting and communication strategy to streamline its vulnerability management processes and foster collaboration between teams. The strategy included the development of standardized vulnerability report templates containing executive summaries, technical details, and recommended actions tailored to different audiences. Regular stakeholder meetings and briefings provided opportunities for dialogue and feedback, facilitating a shared understanding of security risks and priorities. Moreover, GTS invested in training and resources to empower teams to address security vulnerabilities effectively and overcome resistance to remediation efforts. Outcome: as a result of implementing the vulnerability reporting and communication strategy, GTS achieved significant improvements in its vulnerability management practices and security posture. The standardized vulnerability report templates enable GTS to convey complex technical information in a clear and concise manner, facilitating informed decision-making and collaboration between stakeholders. Regular stakeholder meetings fostered a culture of transparency and accountability, driving collective efforts to address security vulnerabilities proactively. By investing in training and resources, GTS empowered teams to overcome resistance to vulnerability remediation efforts and strengthen its security defenses against emerging threats.